had to think there for a second. Welcome, everyone, to the Wednesday Night Live show. We're back for another week. Let me adjust my pillow. There you go. Tim said getting old. I feel like I'm getting old. We got a fun show today, and I thought we would talk a little bit about what I've been seeing here lately is with a lot of the toy figures and the sodas and what else are there? Teddy bears and what else have you guys seen?
Like
you
little
seen
milkshake bottles.
milkshake bottles, and Mallory made a great point. Everyone, wants something that they can remember from their childhood, the nostalgia. But like I said, does having a teddy bear vape help you with your goal? And that's how I look at it. Is it something that's going to help you quit smoking because you can see it on your desk and it's just shaped like a teddy bear that, I don't know, maybe you fucking had when you were 10 years old. I don't know.
Well, too, with the messaging, like coming from, public health, that we are trying to entice kids, and that's been their argument for so long. So it's kind of bad timing to put these things out into the market. Also, like, why do that? Why poke the bear? I think.
Right. I mean, I do have my aluminum hat over there, my conspiracy hat, where I might put it on today here when we start talking about this subject, because it just feels funny, the timing. The timing just feels funny to me, because why now all of a sudden? Why now all of a sudden is this push, for these things when they know, China knows. Let's be honest. I mean, if they were to lose this market because of this nonsense that they're selling us here, is that their goal? I mean, is somebody directing them to put out this type of product now with all the bullshit that's going on? It just feels funny to me that we've gone so long here the last 2 years where we kind of weeded those things out. And now all of a sudden, with all the controversy that we're going through, it's like they're reappearing. And it just doesn't make any sense, the timing at all.
All things happen for a reason.
Yeah, Mom.
I know that everybody loves isms. But, I'm starting to think that there might be some other kind of strategic angle to this, right? Because in a lot of ways, this is sort of like it's coming to a halt. It's painfully. But I'm thinking that, it might be a way to attract a different crowd too, not just the kids, right? Because if you want people to spend money with you, there's probably a chance that if it looks strange or odd or you're not sure what it is, but if you see this thing that looks kind of quirky and fun and cool, you'll get it maybe, and then maybe you get some, because let's be real, a lot of older people, and I say older, I don't mean that
watch
in decrepit sense. I'm just saying a lot of older people who are just vapors, right? They're trying to quit smoking and they're vaping, and they see these kind of trinkety, kind of fun, sort of disposable kind of things. They don't understand that we have this big issue with it being marketed to kids and all this other stuff. They're just vapors, and they're like, oh, I want to get this cool thing. So I think there's a mark, but it is funny that it's all kind of happening now.
Right now, it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I mean, we had that big put. The first one. I was trying to think here earlier. What was the first one that kind of drew everyone's attention? And I want to say it was that was it Pokemon Ball one?
No, before that,
there was one before that one.
The grenade.
The grenade. I know, but that's not childish, though.
No, it was toyish looking, and the Nintendo controller one.
The Nintendo, yeah. But those were mods. Those were something somebody made first, and then China jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Oh, we could fucking do that better. Let's make this." But I think that one was a big one, and that Dragon Ball Z, am I saying that right?
That was it.
Yeah. So why don't we just say hello to Mr. Tim first, and Tim can tell us how wonderful of a week he had.
I had a fucking long week, bro. I was in Virginia since last Wednesday. I just got home yesterday, so I had to power through a weekend to get through the work week, which was strange for me. Normally it's Monday to Friday, but this time was over a weekend. So needless to say, I'm tired. But did everybody catch that new Kim Dracula video?
No, I did not catch it.
Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. No. Well, you're not a metalhead, and Allison's not necessarily a metalhead. She's more of a country fan. I don't know. If you're into metal at all, you got to go watch that Kim Dracula video.
You will link it for us in the chat, and then we'll go check it out, Tim.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's a few people in the.
So did you go to Virginia for work or for?
Yeah,
for
so the company I work for is based out of Virginia. So funny how the company that I end up working for is a place I drove by like 8 bajillion times as a kid and never went in, and then now I moved down here, and then I end up working for a company back where I came from.
Did you visit mom and dad?
They don't live near there. They're about 2.5 hours away in Henrico County.
Hey, that's close.
I did see my brother. He was the individual I fell in front of at Liberty Barbecue when I bit the friggin' concrete. I was eating asphalt.
Are you ready for the 80s? You ready for the 80s comment? Walk much? Did your brother say that? Remember that?
He didn't. I wanted him to turn around and do like the umpire safe at first base. Fucking move. That would have been cooler.
My brother would always say, "Do you walk much?" Anytime you fell or did something stupid, it's like, I was like, God. So,
it was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
You didn't have any food in your hand, so you're safe there.
We were going in.
You're going in. You got excited. You got excited.
Phones in my hand.
You're thinking about that barbecue sauce on your fingers and your face, and you got excited, and you tripped and you fell.
I was just checking to make sure I didn't break a hip. I am getting older.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be careful with that one. That one's eventually coming, where you're gonna make that little fall, and
exactly.
That's it.
Ain't nobody got time for that, John.
Then you become that old man that walks around and goes, "Yeah, this baby's titanium. I got a titanium hip, man."
And a walker with tennis balls on the front to keep the.
The tennis balls. Tennis balls.
You gotta have those.
Allie, how is your week going?
I am exhausted right now. It's been super busy for the past couple weeks, prepping for everything. For Friday, so I just feel like it's been like one long Zoom call all week, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that first, but before we jump in, and I'm having a great week, guys. I don't want to get into my Timmy. Wait a minute, did I do this right? I did it right. Look at that. Tim, say hello to everybody.
No, you were pointing the wrong way, but that's okay. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Wednesday Night Live show. Now we just tried to make up for it by pointing both directions. But see how they cheat on the show.
The Bugs Bunny, he went that way.
Fuck this one up any further than I already have. I'm just going to point both directions. So let's say hi to some people, shall we? Mallory Gates, always wonderful to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Pam Spraggins, always wonderful to see you. 2 ladies in the front of the line. First, we still got it, John. We still got
it, man. I don't even have to do that. How you doing anymore?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Rog in the chat. What's up, Rog? How you doing, brother? Good to see you back here. There was a really cool screen name down here. I'm gonna get to it. Michael Redfern. Good to see you, sir. How have you been? Hold on, I got to Shaylock. That's a cool ass
Shaylock.
Yeah, it's kind of like Warlock, but Shaylock. Yeah. The Shay must be the first name. Lock. She's a.
I like it. Well,
Shay is a guy and a girl's name, so I apologize. I'm not sure which gender you are, but that's okay.
Let us know.
As long as you're here, that's all that fucking matters. Shaylock. That's the best name ever. Let's see who else. I know we got somebody else. Tom Morowitz. Good to see you, sir. How have you been?
Tim took it up a notch right there.
You like that? You like that bluesy growl that I.
He needs to be that guy at the
throaty phlegm in your throat kind of growl that I.
He needs to be that guy at the monster truck fucking rally shows. Sunday. Are you ready, kids?
But I think that is everybody. So welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. Chime in, chat with us. We like
if you're in there, don't hide. Say hello. We love hearing from you guys and seeing from you guys. And I would ask if anyone has bought one of these toy things. And
bought in a word.
Yeah, if you have bought one of these teddy bears, sodas, whatever. I don't want you to shit on him. Not yet, but just let us know. Did you feel like you were getting something of quality? Was it worth buying? Was the vape any good? Was the juice any good? Was the flavors any good? Did it last? Did it not last? Let us know in the comments, and when we see them, we'll highlight them. But before we get into that stuff, we got important stuff to talk about. because I'm pointing the right way there. That lady
Got
down
that
there,
one right.
that
Yep,
lady
that
down
one's
there,
easy.
right there, that lady right there. It's got some big stuff coming Friday, and I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be looking for your names in the chat this Friday. So everybody, make sure you get over there, hit that little button right down here where it says register now, and get registered because it's coming up Friday. And Allie, are you ready, Allie? Are you pumped?
Yes. I'm excited. I'm definitely, we're doing one more day of prep tomorrow, and I think I'm good. So yeah, I think I'm good. I think it should be interesting. I think I'm not really expecting to hear anything different from Dr. King on his messaging. I'm sure it's going to be the same postcard, reading from the cue card, same exact stuff we've heard over and over and over again. But that's okay, because
you got to
have our say here.
Yeah, with those kind of people, you got to kind of trick them into answering the question with the. I heard it's like a long time ago in high school when in debate class or whatever it was, but they used to tell us like get them comfortable, get them relaxed, get them like feeling like they're not being integral. Yeah, what is that word, Timmy? Where they're being, like what the police would interrogated. Yeah, interrogated. I can't get it out, and then let them slip up and come up with that one question where it's just going to throw them off. Yeah, I say you have them put a light bulb, like the old 50s. Just make him have a light bulb with the heat pounding his fucking forehead and sweat coming down his face.
Yeah, I want it to be like that.
I want it to be like.
I'm not going to say anything because I also have my tinfoil hat over here, and I just feel like they're probably watching right now. So I'm not going to say anything or give any clues.
Yeah. Don't give anything away. and then after you're done with Allie, come join us, Mr. King. We'd love for you to sit down
on the Wednesday Night Live show.
Yeah, sit down with us and give us your theories. We love to hear them.
Talk to us like a real person.
Yeah,
don't wear your government official hat for 5 minutes.
He is putting on his big boy pants to be on live with you guys. I give him credit for that. He could have just blown you guys off, but he But again, like Allie says, he's gonna have. He's smart enough individual that he doesn't need cue cards, but I'm sure he's got his responses.
Oh, he knows it by heart. Yeah, he knows it by heart by now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for quite some time. He knows typically what kind of questions are going to be asked of him, So it's just trying to get the truth out of him. Sometimes it's a little more difficult, but I think you guys are going to do a great job. And everybody get over there, register, and also, let me put the screen back up because I forgot to talk about another part of it. Because, maybe you can't make it, right, Allie?
Maybe you can't.
Maybe you can't make it, but this is an opportunity to submit your question. So head on over there to that same page, and I will put the link to the page in the chat. But head over there and fill out this form right here and add your question. Who knows? It might get read, right, Allie?
Yep.
I mean, you guys have an hour, so it's just how can you even? Let me see. I know you just said what you said, but I mean, have you guys sat down with the?
It's an hour of Q&A.
Right. So I mean, both of you and
some other stakeholders. So you'll some other advocates that you might know and are going to get to say some good stuff. I mean, I really can't say too much, but like I said, it's just going to be Q&A. So
yeah,
and we're going to be asking the questions. So.
Yeah. So but you and Gregory you guys worked out where you guys are. These are my questions. These are your questions. So
we've been doing like tonight we did like a dress rehearsal, like prep, and basically had our Q&A, and then some other people on the call kind of responding the way that they think he might respond.
Nice, Allie. What will you be wearing Friday, Allie?
I mean, obviously something very matronly. I
thought I'd throw it in there.
Mom.
Out of the FDA shirt.
Oh, that would
be a good choice on that.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be kind of
feels appropriate, but
I can see his face if both you and Gregory are wearing "fuck you" FDA shirts. Or you can wear one of those "I quit smoking using blah blah blah." One of those shirts. I think it's going to be fun seeing you on there and doing your thing. Are you the host or is it Gregory the host?
It's the both of us.
It's the both of you guys. So yeah, so you guys are going to be sharing the thing. And then next week, Allie will be hosting the show again because she's going to keep doing that. She had fun with it. She liked it. How'd you guys think? Did Allie do a good job last week, guys? Let us know.
Put a 1 in the chat if she did good.
Yeah,
Put a 2 in the chat if she did awesome.
Oh, it's going to be pretty awesome to see you guys. And that's at everybody again. That is the 24th, and it is at 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern. Tim, what time is that in California?
That would be.
I love doing that.
11 o'clock a.m. PST. Am I right?
Look, you got twos coming in.
I wasn't ready for a math question this late at night. That's a horrible thing to do to me.
Well, let's talk about the toys. I don't know what else to call them. What else should we call them? They're gadgets. I don't know.
Novelty
vape devices. And to me, like I said earlier, I feel funny. Like it's just now coming back because I watch Instagram a lot, and I notice when a new product comes out because Instagram just gets fucking hammered with that picture by everybody, and I started seeing these things popping up, and at first I thought, all right, one, no big deal, and then it's a new one, then it's another one, and it just feels funny to you guys. Why now? Why right now?
Well, especially because like responsible retailers, like the big companies that you see that do big business for 100 ml bottles and 60 ml bottles are transitioning to plain packaging to kind of do whatever they can do to stay available for adults. To do everything the FDA is asking, because that's ultimately what we have to do. Even if we win in court, we still have to go back into review and we have to do whatever they want us to do to try to get an approval. So if that's what they want, why would you now do this? Back in the day when it was wide open and there was no rules, whatever. But like we've all kind of scaled down all of that stuff.
I mean, Tim, do you think, China doesn't make anything unless it has an order. So to me, that's how I start thinking, okay, who the fuck is ordering this shit? Because China doesn't do a run of anything unless you pay up front.
Well, right. So I was thinking a little bit more about this, and I started to kind of go down the path of competition, right? Because you get these companies that are kind of ruling the roost, so to speak, like the Elf bars, and then there's the other one that everybody's Puff Bar or whatever. I guess those are the two biggest ones. And I think at some point, the options become somewhat one-dimensional for users. It's like they just kind of go to what they know. But if you look at the lineup, everything's fairly the same. They all kind of look the same. They have the same shape or same colors or whatever. Do you feel like maybe this is an attempt at trying to compete with other large disposable vendors by putting out these fun, whimsical ones that catch people's attention now? You need to stand apart from the pack. So it could just be a culmination of a lot of things, not saying there isn't some other ulterior motive with regard to the timing like you're bringing up, but I'm just thinking it's also the market, right? You want to sell disposables. How am I going to sell mine and have it be better than the one that looks right next to it looking the same that has a more recognizable name?
Yeah. And Allie, I know you're in the business, so to me, is this a way of getting rid of some e-liquid?
I don't know. I can tell you firsthand that when
do you think that certain manufacturers are like, okay, this is the route everyone's going. Let's stop filling 30 ml bottles and 50 ml bottles. Let's put our product in these disposables and get them out there. And let's do what Tim's saying. Let's be a little bit different. And it just seems like, okay, maybe try colors. I don't know. Fuck. If everything looks the same, I don't know. Put some sparkles in there. Fuck anything. They're just coming up with a. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I'm on LinkedIn, I get messages all the time because I work for eSig Charleston. So they look and they think like I'm a purchasing manager or something, and they just start sending me messages, which is how I got the picture of the one that looks like the Minion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never respond to any of them because I'm like, who's buying this? But I didn't actually see anything that looks like that in any. I go to a lot of the local vape shops around here.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody carrying that. I have seen the little like drink ones
Yeah,
in
the drink
shop, but it's more of a head shop. So I actually haven't seen them really out in the real world. So I don't know why they're just being pushed online, like to buyers right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I haven't actually seen them to purchase
Well,
them.
if U.S. vendors are smart, they won't buy them at all.
No.
And hopefully that'll be our first line of defense, and them not making it into kids' hands, because the kids, they can be smart and get through on Snapchat, but they don't have the ability to go buy 3,000 units from some Chinese vape manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird that it's now. I mean, all this push that we had, and we did a great job for the last 2 years. I mean, a great job the last 2 years weeding all those out. And a lot of companies are saying, hey, you know what? Maybe let's change our branding. Let's change our look. Let's change our font. Some of them had to change font and colors. So, and now all of a sudden, the last 6 months, I'm like, I get the disposable market is booming and it's out of control. But I mean, to me, that's saying that market's okay. It doesn't need a teddy bear. It doesn't need a minion. It doesn't need, any of that stuff, because that market is flourishing and people are buying disposables. So there's really no need to push this product that's going to just come back and hit us in the face. And I'm surprised, honest to God, surprised that I haven't seen Pave post anything yet.
I was gonna say I haven't seen one in a Truth Initiative video. That's
Now, does that make you wonder a little though? That how do I say that? Like they just feel like we're just going to cut our own heads off. They don't have to post that shit, because it's like, we don't have to do it. They're killing themselves. They're destroying their own market.
Well, I mean, if things are gonna keep kind of filtering into the marketplace to give everybody a reason to go get up in arms about it, but we haven't seen the result of that yet. It seems like a lot of the antis are kind of turning towards the whole ban menthol thing. Like, that's their ride right now. They're not worried about, like, they've already kind of trampled all over. Well, the flavorings look attractive, the labeling looks attractive. I mean, there's probably a million things they could point to, and maybe they'll speak up louder when, like, one gets confiscated at a high school and they take a fucking picture of it, and then they'll go, see, and then they'll get all mad about it. Right now, they're talking about menthol bans and tobacco bans and flavor bans all wrapped in one. They're not talking about the disposables as much. Like,
well, because if they ban flavors, then all that stuff goes away anyway.
Yeah, but that
goes away to the black market where it already is.
Where then we'll get fucking give me some '80s stuff that could pop up as a disposable Tim. Like, fucking, we'll get the kid car fucking vape. It'll talk to you.
A Mr. Microphone vape, so we can pull up in our cars and be like, "Hey, good looking. Be back to pick you up later."
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I personally myself haven't seen anyone carrying them, and to me, and I've been vaping a long time, I couldn't see myself pulling that out of my jacket to hit in front of somebody, because I just know I wouldn't be taken serious what I'm doing, because that's how I look at it. I see someone pull that out of their pocket and hit it. I don't feel like that person is honestly trying to quit smoking. I think there's
I agree with you, and it seems like we've always walked this fine line between the people who are a little bit more apt to say we should humble ourselves. We should present ourselves in a way that says we're using this for tobacco harm reduction. I'm using this to quit smoking. And then you just got the other side that's like, my rights, and and they're all bravado, liberty, freedom bullshit, which is great. I support all of that. But they're like, if I want a fucking minion vape, I'm gonna buy a minion vape. Yeah. And who are they to tell? And so they're like standing up, and I'm like, it wouldn't be too bad to just have, like, the thing they don't know what it is in your hand.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So I think we'll always be stuck in that thing. It's the lifelong argument. We always say, what would you give up in vaping to save it? And everybody's like, nothing, not a damn thing. And I'm like, not even the disposable? No, because if they were a 3-pack a day smoker, they need to. I get it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I get what you're saying, Mallory.
That's just too much common sense, Mallory, to expect something.
Yeah, I mean, if in a perfect world, yes, that would be just, fine and dandy. But in this situation that we're in right now, every little thing counts, and every little thing like this gets picked up. And when they see that stuff, they're just like, okay, who is this? Is this marketed for John Truncali at 55 years old? Is this marketed for, Tim at 50 something years old? No, it's not. It's not marketed. Who is this? And then who's buying it? That's what I want to know. I want to know who the fuck's buying this and ordering it from China, because I understand, a lot of companies have a lot of e-liquid laying around and they're not selling the bottles like they used to because everyone's, using a disposable. All right, I get it. You got a lot of shit laying around. You want to get your product out there. Great. Call China, make a deal. But hey, put some fucking effort into design. Yeah, I know you can. iPhone's been doing it for fucking 20 years. They don't change much, just a little bit here and there, but we still buy it. I mean, It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a toy figure. It doesn't have to be something that I grew up playing with in the 70s or the 60s or 80s. It doesn't need to be that stuff. It can be something. I mean, the perfect example, the Juul. Stylish, easy to use, easy to put in your pocket. It didn't need to look like a fucking toy. It looked like something. Honest to God, when I saw the first Juul, I said, finally, they marketed a product. This is the first thing that came out of my mind. They marketed a product to a guy that wears a fucking suit. That's what they were smart. They said, this is something that a guy will pull out of his jacket and wouldn't be embarrassed to fucking use it. It's black, it's thin, it's small, it's not noticeable. And it was smart. And they sold the shit. I mean, they sold so many of those things, it was ridiculous. They had 74% of the market at one time. So, I mean, that's a perfect example. You don't need the fancy colors. You just need a good quality product. And
I don't have the time to do it. They've been harping about the kids. Like, that's the only thing that bothers me. I get it. All harm reduction matters. And if we have sensible regulations like Mallory's suggesting, then we could control it more. But this is their stance, is that it's attractive to kids. We're making it more attractive to kids. It's not what we want to do right now, because being like trying to bully the FDA, if that's what it is, a shot, like, fuck it, we're just going to make whatever now because it's for kids anyway. Like, that's not ever going to get you anywhere with the government. It's just not going to. And I feel you. Like, it should be treated the same way. If you can have sparkly purple alcohol that like glitters when you shake it, you can get carded for a vape and it should be fine. But that's not the world we live in right now.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. The first day of court, if this were to go to court and we finally get to sit down and be in front of a judge or the Supreme Court, you don't think that's the first fucking thing they grab and put up on that fucking table and say Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C?
So here's my take on that one. So unfortunately, the government doesn't have enough time, nor do they have the concern to sit there and really parse all this shit out, right? Yeah. So they're going to pull out that Minion vape and think that represents all 100% of us. Yeah. That we're all about the Minion vape, and that's the only line of mentality that they're going to hold on to, is they think we're all one and the same. They don't understand that there's people who don't want that shit around, even as adult vapors, let alone we don't want kids vaping. We can't say it loud enough. And they still are like, they're targeting the kid. And we're like, we're not big tobacco. And we're over here saying we don't want the kids to vape. Yeah. And then all you think is that we're just a bunch of shills that walk around and promote vaping from the big tobacco point of view. So, it won't matter. The Minion vape will just be our,
a representation of the industry.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they just sold one of them, even if they just sold one of those million vapes, it doesn't matter. They don't care how many were sold. They just the fact that they're available. That's it. And that we all want one. It's like, oh, fuck, every vape, all 14 million vapors just went out and bought a fucking million vape. No, fuck no.
Isn't that funny, though? They think that when they keep trying to tell us that adults don't like flavors and we don't care about fun, childish kind of things, that it's only for the kids. So then why are so many adults buying it?
Yeah. Yeah, it just and the timing just throws me off because we listened to Allie, we listened to a lot of other people that the process that they had to go through with PMTAs and what they're dealing with and this fight and the money that's being pushed out there right now to keep these places open for us, and then you see this, and it's been a couple of years, but now all of a sudden we're getting. I don't want to say we're getting closer to the end zone because we're never. Even if we did, they'll move
away.
They'll just move it further back. It is officially now 150 yards.
Delay a game, 5 yards.
Delay a game. Holding
offensive offsides. Delay, 5 yards. Repeat down. God damn it.
It's a good thing that vape advocates do not tire easily.
No,
it is exhausting to be stressed out about this all the time. And what stresses me out the most is when the customers call the warehouse and they're like, I read this thing online. Should I go to the store today and stock up? How much time do I have?
Yeah.
Like that breaks my heart. I'm like, no, listen, we're not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. We're going to do this the right way. And we're going to push through until they see reason.
Yeah, it's either that or until the point the FDA or the government itself just weeds you out because you can no longer afford to stay in business. So, I mean, that's what I personally think that's their end game. That's their goal is to just try to weed us out. There may be 3 or 4 or 5 maybe big manufacturers left that are out there. I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but I'm saying that's probably their end game is try to wean it all down to some major corporations that can keep up and keep paying them to stay in business. And it's kind of a sad thing. But then when you see shit like this, and I mean it's everywhere, and I know they are on Instagram. I know they're looking. I haven't seen one on Twitter. Have you guys seen a picture of any of those devices on Twitter? So it just makes me wonder, is this an actual product? Is this something that's actually in a vape shop, or is this just some way of stirring shit?
I can send you the lady's contact information from my LinkedIn. You can hit her up and see if she'll sell.
I'm not ordering any of that shit. I'll send them a bad check.
Well, like I said, right? So I mean, we live with this dichotomy where we have true blue vape shops like Allison's shop and stuff like that, Nick's stores. But then you've got these head shops and tobacco shops that pop up everywhere looking to make a quick buck. And it's those places, I think, that'll bite and buy this stupid shit. I don't think it'll be the regular vape channels. They're not going to put that
That's the place I saw the slushy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They don't give a fuck because they're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
So, I
didn't see any bears. I don't know.
Yeah.
And somebody brought up something the other day because when I showed them the first thing that he's not a vapor, but the first thing that he came up to his mind was the fact that, okay, maybe they're doing this because if you notice, there are higher puff counts. So they're getting to put a bigger battery in there, more e-liquid in there and trying to sell it that way. And the only way you can really do that is, start making the fucking thing bigger and bigger. Eventually, it won't be a pot. It won't be a pot anymore. It'll just be this.
Be like the size of 2 friggin', regular mods.
Hold on, I got to plug this in for 12 hours before I can use it.
Exactly. I need a Tesla charger to recharge my vape.
Well, that's what I noticed was the puff counts. That was the first thing I kind of noticed. I was like, holy shit, 8,000, 10,000 puffs. I'm like,
yeah, but a lot of that's just a marketing gimmick.
Yeah.
They're like, if you could possibly take one tiny little puff off this thing, and then do that repeatedly 6 hours a day, you probably get 10,000 puffs.
So we have a 7,000 puff right now that we're testing at the warehouse, and it actually looks, it's a solid color. It almost looks like an old school mod. It has airflow control on it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look kid friendly. So you can do it. You can go bigger and make it nicer. And it's very sleek. I wish I had brought it home with me because I'd show it to you. But
Big gulps. They have them already, but
Yeah, they have them.
they're
Like
little.
you can go big, and you don't have to make it look like.
Can you imagine though a regular fucking
Now,
big
Bloomberg
gulp?
hates big gulps. Okay, now you have hit two issues he's very passionate about.
This device has 67,000 puffs.
Yeah, like the head shops, you just go in and you just grab a big gulp friggin' plastic casing, and then they got the little slushy things on the wall that are full of vape juice, and then you just fill it up with whatever flavor you want.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing I noticed, and my buddy brought it up, he said, well, how much of that product is actually recyclable? And I just started laughing. I go, fucking China doesn't care how much of the teddy bear is recyclable. The battery, maybe that is about it, but they don't give a shit how much plastic they're putting on these things. Because look, I mean, it's a big fucking teddy bear. It's a fucking soda. You know, I just feel like no one would ever take me serious if I pulled that fucking thing out and just
John,
hit a fucking teddy bear.
Not trying to interrupt you. Look who's in the chat.
Oh, Matt. Yeah, I know.
Madison.
Madison, you know the link. Jump in there, girl. We always like to have you back on the show. But yeah, I mean, and then Allie, you brought something up in our chat before, but they are getting away with it in the hemp department, though, right? I mean, they're starting to.
Baby.
And they're begging to be regulated, and I'm like, are you guys crazy? Like all that goes away. Like, have you not been paying attention to what's been happening to us?
Yeah, but they're not getting. I mean, eventually, someone in upstairs or wherever you want to call it, eventually is going to say, okay, you know, look, we were trying to take you guys serious, you know, in the hemp, but we're giving you an opportunity here, you know, for you to expand your business, and then. This why do you need this? And I mean, which one do you think is harder to get your hands on for a kid? Which of those two products would be harder to get your hands on?
If you live in my house?
No, not in your house. I walk in. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one.
What are you talking about? The difference between a Juul and these toys?
No, the THC or the
THC and the vape.
Well, I think they're both equally as accessible. I don't think you know, it all depends on what the kids want, and just something leads me to believe that they don't care so much about blueberry vape much anymore.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Well, Shylock, whatever you want to call yourself, or whatever I'm going to call you. But yeah, I mean, they had a product that obviously worked really well. It suited everybody that was buying it. It was just, it had great flavor. They had great flavors. They had really great flavors. That mango, still the best mango I've ever had. Is that one right in there?
I just saw the new Juul too, though, that's going out in the UK, and it's got like a blackberry tobacco.
Oh boy!
I was like, that actually looks kind of good. But
yeah,
well, I think somebody had to be sort of the wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak. They had to make an example out of somebody. We were an easier target, but Juul was a good one to go after because they were so well known.
Yeah. Plus, you could pop THC pods in them, and
that was the problem. That was the problem. That was the big problem.
It was compatible with way too many things.
But ironically, they're the one that seems to kind of be able to get through the muck and the mire the easiest.
Well, they got $4 billion to make sure.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean?
If I had $4 billion, I could make something last for a long time.
They're just saying, we'll go ahead and weed it down to 2 flavors, and we'll look like a bunch of stubs.
Yeah,
we'll end up on the other side.
Like flavors, let's pull them from the market. That really shows people that you care about your customer base and what.
That was a big fuck up. But
I wish they would have just stood their ground on that. I would have had a lot more respect for.
Yeah, their biggest problem is number one, they chose the wrong marketing company. Number two, I don't think they even paid attention to what the marketing company was doing. I think they just said, yeah, that looks good. Let's throw it out there. Let's get it out.
It looks like a Corona ad to me. They look pretty similar.
And I mean, it could have been marketed a little bit better, but to me, that product was just designed for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was to help you quit smoking and in a stylish way, period. Yep. From the guy in the suit to the guy in the construction site. I mean, that was a device you could pull out, and you knew nobody was going to say, well, that looks stupid, or what is, it wasn't a teddy bear. It wasn't bright fucking colors. It was, I think black was it, right? I don't think there was another color.
I don't think I ever saw another color.
No, there wasn't. I mean, you could get skins for it.
It was
Yeah,
gray. It was
gray.
like gunmetal and
Yeah,
black.
you could get skins for it, but
Oh, and then you had Eon Smoke come on the scene, and they did all the compatible pods and all the compatible batteries, like so you could get them in pink and blue and
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, they just to me that was just smart on their part. They knew let's keep this looking stylish for an adult, and let's keep. But then their marketing was just it was just
To the wrong crowd.
wrong fucking crowd, man. And
And they should
I
have
mean,
anticipated that. They should have done some kind of like safety feature where it only worked with their pods, or it wouldn't work with something that's not like they should have made it that it's only compatible with their pods.
yeah. Well, I think they did try that in the beginning. I mean, even what do you call it? Tried that with their coffee pods, and it didn't fucking last very long.
That's true, but at least it wouldn't have all
Yeah.
been on them because I
Yeah.
think they just made it way too easy for people to duplicate that pod.
Well, right, and then there's the other side of that too, where it's like, you know, when they talk about the kids getting their hands on these devices, the vast majority of them weren't buying these, you know, fancy colored labeled e-liquids from the vape store. They were getting their hands on jewels.
Yeah. Or they were just swiping it from their parents, and then their parents like, oh shit, I lost another jewel. I got to get another one.
Where's my jewel?
Yeah.
Now you could put a jewel tag on it, though. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, God, don't want to lose my jewel.
Yeah.
They weren't cheap.
No, and it just like again, it's just the timing just feels really weird. It just almost feels like someone is pushing to destroy us, and it just doesn't make any sense. And why it's happening right now with everything that's going on, you know.
You're poking the bear, man. Stop.
You're poking that fucking bear, and and it's just a new one every day. It's like I'm on Instagram a lot, and I'm looking through there, and I just see these new devices just keep pumping up, and it went from these nice stylish devices that we had. I mean, you start looking at some of the open little vapes. What do you call them? Who has them?
AIO, like.
Yeah, the little AIOs or what Lost Vapes. Those little they came out. They're stylish leather and all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing this stuff. And okay, I get it. You know, what market? Who are you selling to? And why is this here? And is anybody fucking buying them? And I hope that the shops are saying fuck you. We don't want these fucking things. And if they go to head shops, go to head shops. I could care less.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a product recommendations chat for work, and somebody bought one and put it in the chat that it tasted really good. And I literally responded within 2 seconds. I was like, that is way too child friendly. We cannot carry that. Like immediately. Cause I think some of them, you know, great employees, obviously, but I think some of them don't really know so much about what's going on as far as like advocacy goes, you know? So it's like, maybe he just didn't know that, you know, that wasn't a good idea, but I was on it. I was like, that's way too child friendly. Like, are you crazy? Like, that's just, I mean,
get that fucker out of the chat.
Yeah. I mean, at this point we had to get rid of Hyde because they were the choice, you know, out of the choices that were given to them, they were the most popular brand. Like, give me a break. Like, so we had to pull that. And those are just colorful, like everything else is.
Yeah. See, like what you have in your hand. That's fine. That's perfect. It's square. It's nice. Got nice colors on it. Doesn't have a fucking cartoon on it. It's not shaped like a fucking cartoon. I mean, if there's one thing that this industry has shown me throughout the years is innovation. And there is a lot of innovation maybe that we're not getting to see yet, only because they're holding back. Yeah. And I think if you were to sit down and be creative, and and Tim's right. I mean, it's hard to change something that, you know, everything starts to look the same no matter how much you try to change it. I mean, it's still just, you know, a stick that's 3 or 4 inches long, and you know, but I mean, you can be creative. If you're going to send China money to make something for you that you're going to put in your product, have some pride in it. You know, anybody that ordered those things isn't taking pride in what they're doing, or they're not even trying to help people quit smoking. They're trying to fill their pockets with cash, and they're saying, "Oh, we'll get these and we'll sell them because, you know, people want." I want to know who wants them, but fuck, it's just ridiculous.
I think they're probably thinking too. You know, these are probably a group of individuals that don't care about the industry nearly as much as we do, and what it means. They're just like, hey, I want to make some fast bucks. but now I want to push this out there. I got to compete with all these other fucking people. I got to do something different. I don't think they care. I don't think that they have one care in the world about what the impact is before they can bankroll and get out.
Yeah, China doesn't care. You send them money, they'll make you whatever the fuck you want. You know, if that's your design, then, you know, because I don't think China is saying to the manufacturers, the e-liquid manufacturers, look, this is what we got. You want to put your juice in it? I don't think they're doing that. I think this is the manufacturer that has to go to China and say, look, we got tons of e-liquid. Everybody's buying disposables. We want something that stands out, something a little different. And, you know, what do you got? And China just loves cartoon characters. You know, I'm waiting for the Pokemon one to come out pretty soon. I mean, and somebody brought up Disney. Nobody fucks with Disney.
Yeah,
if you try, you come out with a Disney vape, you're fucked.
Dude.
They will come after you like fucking. Like, oh, I don't even want to say
it. Well, that's even more detrimental because not only are you coming out with a product that, in essence, looks like it's targeted at kids. Now you're using the intellectual rights of a place that's built for kids.
Yeah. Remember, you guys remember hey, Curtis, welcome to the show. You remember that one company that came up with the mod that looked kind of sort of like the Transformers and how much shit they got from that franchise?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you really are flirting with danger at that point because China typically doesn't care so much about intellectual rights. I mean, they make things with one letter off, you know, but it looks just like the original thing. So they could give a shit, you know what I mean? Enough bleeds into the market before somebody finally shuts it down.
Right. Yeah. And also like the Minion, it's not the trademark Minion. So they probably could do something that's similar to a Disney character and just call it something different and get away with it for a minute.
Yeah, they won't make anything with a panda on it. That's
But there was a vape out a couple years ago called the Panda or something like that. And I mean, it didn't look like a toy, but it did kind of have a panda vibe.
Yeah, that's just like what is it? What religious group is it that you're not allowed to draw the characters to? You're not allowed to draw it. Is it Muslim? You're not allowed to draw a picture of who's their leader.
I'm not ready for this pop quiz. I already had to subtract 3 hours from my time zone.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just found it funny, and I just kind of wondering who's fucking ordering this shit, and then to post it on Instagram, and I mean that the other day it was my whole feed was that teddy bear one, my whole feed.
Well, and even the bottles you sent me had no late warnings on them. That's what I was like, how do they get away with not having any warnings on the bottle?
Yeah. I mean, shit, think about this for a second. I mean, barista got in trouble just for having a cup as their packaging. Think about that. I mean, this is just a fucking cup, which is smart. You know, why use a bunch of fucking cardboard to make a box? Let's put her fucking juice in here and you got a fucking coffee cup after you're done.
Think most people would think about I don't think most people would think about coffee as being necessarily like a kid's, especially that representation of coffee, because it's not like you're getting like a nice frappuccino. You know what I mean? That's what the kids want. They don't care so much about the mocha joca lattes, you know, in a paper cup.
Mocha joca latte.
I'm making it up.
I love it. That's great. See, I'm starting to what is that? You're starting to turn into me, Tim.
I am.
Nice.
Mocha laka shaka.
Well, no.
He's trying to figure something out.
It was a YouTube video.
He's getting those words. Tim's got to have the words just floating around first.
No,
he's grabbing words.
It was a YouTube video, and it had something to do with him ordering a coffee, and it was something like mocha choca latte something bullshit. I don't know. He had this long-winded coffee name. Anyway, I'll find it for you one day. Don't worry.
You'll send DM me.
Yes.
What else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, I have to mention this real quick. My son obviously does not watch the show, but he did want me to make sure everyone knows that he passed his driving exam today.
Mom, you need anything at the store? Hey, Mom, that's my kids the first week. Hey, Dad, you need anything at the store? No, I'm good, son. I'll go get you a soda.
That's going to be his first question when I get off the podcast every time. Did you talk about me? I'm like, no, I'm not talking about you. But I do have to mention him because
Congratulations. We've
Yeah,
all
buddy.
been there once in our lives.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling for that.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I am terrified.
It's scary. It's a scary feeling for a parent, but at least they got laws now where they have to be in like for the first until he's 18.
South Carolina has the worst drivers. We're ranked like I think number 2.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
true.
sign that flashes how many deaths this year on the highway.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But let me ask you though something.
And it was like 1877 this year already. It's February.
But let me ask you something.
Scare you into paying attention. No more texting while you're driving.
No texting. But this is
he has a curfew, but he has like allowances because he's in band, and sometimes he's in band for like 9:30 at night. So he would still be allowed to technically drive because he's at a school thing. He gets permission.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because you can't be driving after I think 11 o'clock or something like that. 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Late. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no. The thing that's scary for the parent is that you start to think back because you don't realize how much they watch you when you're driving. Yeah. And pay attention to your driving habits. So you always wonder as a parent when they first get their license did he adapt any of my fucking habits now as a driver,
I'm a New York driver too, like I've only lived here for 11 years. I lived my whole life in New York and learned to drive in New York. So I don't. So
Allie's the one that rolls the window down and goes, "Fuck you! I had my signal on, you fucking bastard."
That would be my only advice to your son is Fido. Fido. Forget it and drive on. Don't worry. The road rage. You don't need none.
Road rage is scary.
No.
But then when like that after she like Hope. I started when she got her, I took her to practice and she got her license, and then it's like a month. I think it's about a month, and they start to really relax. And then when she picked me up one day, I started noticing this, and she's driving like me with that one arm, not the hand on the fucking wheel, just the wrist, just doing this. And I'm just like, put your hand on the wheel. My hand is on the wheel, Dad. I'm like, no, put your hand on the wheel.
10 and 2.
All the little traits thing, you start looking, and I'm like, God damn it, that's high. And then boys do the same thing. They got their hand up there, and I'm just like,
don't touch the damn phone, please. Because that's all you need is just 2 seconds of not paying attention. Like,
just make sure that feature is set on his phone.
It's got Bluetooth and in the car too, so he can like talk through the speakers. I was like, you can even answer like a text through the speakers, like.
But doesn't mine will like go know that I'm driving, and it won't let me receive any calls. I forget what they got. It's a feature on the Apple phone.
Yeah, it's like a do not disturb feature, I think, for driving.
Yeah, for drive mode. Yeah, you're in drive mode. So we're talking about you, buddy.
I'm telling them about you.
Yeah. Hey. If you're heading to Taco Bell, I get me a burrito supreme.
Yeah, you. I told them that you passed your driving test.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well done, sir. Well done. There you go. The man in all the pictures. We see him in real life now. He does exist.
Stay away from teddy bear vapes.
He does not vape.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. Not as a musician, especially what instrument he plays. No.
Trumpet, man. He's serious.
Yeah, you need those. Was it the chops, Timmy? You got to have the chops
and the lungs. I need my lungs. That's what he just said.
Need my lungs. That's right. No, so hopefully somebody figures it out and they stop it, and make sure you don't buy this crap, guys. And I get the nostalgia part of it, but really, I mean, who the fuck wants a teddy bear vape? Who the fuck,
Somebody is going to think it's cool and they're going to want to get one. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I mean, there's just people that don't understand the ramifications.
Just buy a real teddy bear.
I'm serious. The people...
and a vape. There you go.
More than likely, the people that will buy that will be people who have no idea how much fire the industry is under.
I think.
And you guys know I love disposables. You've given me so much shit for it over the past.
I love disposables too, but
I just can't. This doesn't sit right with me either.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just like when you're standing at the register or the counter, and you see these things. I mean, ask yourself: is this gonna help me with my with my goal of quitting smoking? Do I really need this device? Am I going to look stupid pulling this out in front of other people and set the wrong example to maybe a smoker that's trying to transition, but then sees this and goes, really? Are these guys really serious? That's the biggest problem I have with it is if someone pulls that out and is vaping that device, and the guy that's kind of thinking about jumping into vaping and trying to quit smoking sees a teddy bear vape. I mean, his mind is going to go, all right, is this a real serious industry? Why do they have teddy bears? Why do they have slushy cups? Why is there a Dragon Ball Z fucking vape? You know,
Yeah.
So
and
that's
to play
how.
devil's advocate, like honestly though, like if your little kids saw that sitting out somewhere, do you think they'd be more inclined to grab it than something that looked like a jewel or something more plain? You think that would be as enticing? They might look at it and think it's a toy, and then you run into a whole different issue.
Yeah, you see your kid in the corner playing with your teddy bear vape. In her fucking Barbie house. What
and then on the next cave webinar, you see this mom. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God. Well, number one, why did you leave it laying around? You got kids. So you're not supposed to leave your vape laying around. But still, you're right. Exactly. If I had that sitting on the table in my house right now, and my two granddaughters came home, which are 4 and 5, they would be drawn to that fucking thing automatically. It wouldn't care what it did or what it was about. They would be drawn to it just for the fact that it looked like a teddy bear.
Right.
You know, so to me that's the thing. And I'm not telling people how to spend their money. You spend your money any way you want to fucking spend your money. I mean, but honestly ask yourself, am I going to be taken serious if I pull this out of my pocket and hit this in front of a bunch of people? And then is it going to help that smoker who wants to transition and sees that and says to themselves, this is an industry that I don't feel is serious. And we are a serious fucking industry. We wouldn't be doing all this what we're doing for the last 8 years and trying to save it if we weren't a serious industry. But we got these crappy fucking devices, and I've never held one in my hand. So I'm kind of curious if it's, if it's well made, if it's built nice. Are you actually getting what you says on the packaging? Is the battery last? Well, I'd love to know all that stuff, but I'm not buying one. Fuck that. I'd be that one asshole that buys one.
I don't think you're going to see the mainstream vapors buying that stuff. It's going to be people that just don't. No, because
we already know that that's not a good look.
All right. And the places we're going to end up or where we're going to go are not going to be places that have that stuff anyway. That's going to be the sideways market. Like I said, the head shops and stuff like that. It's not going to be, your favorite vape store down the street that was just always about vape. So
and
they're not going to buy that crap.
They're not. And eventually it will get to them too as well. I mean, the hemp industry is eventually going to have to answer to these fucking devices as well. I mean,
if they have to go through any regulatory process, they do have kid-friendly packaging, but that's how we started out. We did have colors, and we didn't think there was anything wrong with it because we do like that stuff, but we've learned. So to start out in a newer industry and start doing that all over again, it's kind of like, okay, you guys didn't.
To me, them doing that is pretty stupid because our battle's 12 years old. Let's be honest, maybe 10, 12 years old. They've been fighting for 200 years to get this opportunity that they're getting now, and then to have this shit come out like that. And again, who are you marketing to? That industry is so vast. It's insane. I know people in their 70s that are still doing it, and are super excited that event now. They don't have to go to a street corner. They don't have to go to some fucking Walmart parking lot and try to find, some bud to burn. They can actually go into these. They're happy about it. They're getting a safe product now. Well, I guess. I don't know how safe it is, but it's safe. A safe product from a distributor. And now they feel a lot better. And I would be kind of curious to see how they feel about it because, seeing these types of products in their industry now and who's buying them. Those can't be cheap either, right? They're a little bit more expensive than our pods, right? Because it's hemp. So
They're way more expensive.
Way more. So they're like in the what, $30-$40 range?
I mean, if you buy like a 2-gram disposable, it's anywhere from like $39.99, $44.99, depending on what is in it. I mean, if it's just straight Delta 8, it's going to be cheaper, but anything that has any kind of other cannabinoids, it's going to increase the price.
Increase it, yeah.
Yeah, because it's stronger.
Yeah. So don't buy that shit. Nobody.
Yes, buy that shit. I buy that shit.
Oh, no, not that one, but I'm talking about the teddy bear. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with your money. Just remember.
Just don't let anybody see it.
Yeah, just, and if you see it, no, I'm not going to say
I just don't want to fuel the fire like right now because the FDA is not backing down.
No.
I mean, I don't know if anyone saw today, but they issued fines to a bunch of vape shops. Like, it's not calming down. So we don't need to give them any more fuel, really, honestly, at this time, because they just need one more reason, I feel like, to come at us even harder.
Yeah, I mean, that would. I mean, not that I don't want something like that, but I mean, fuck it. If it has to come down to the vape shop having to card you before you fucking come in, great. Fuck it.
Well, you can't even make a sale until they scan an ID in our shops. That's how the system is set up.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Can you imagine though if you had to check for ID before you even came in?
Well, I mean, so be it then. I mean, you can do that. I mean,
that's not a sacrifice that I could see anybody complaining about.
Because I mean, honestly, reputable vape shops are not selling to anybody under 21 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not going to hurt anybody who's doing this for the right reason.
Yeah. Utah, well, they got enough problems in Utah now.
See, South Carolina, we're good with Delta 8, but we'll be like the last to legalize.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a whole different thing. But I just hope that they figure it out and these go away. Just fucking go away. And
I think it's like anything else. When there's an annoying person around you who's like looking for attention, if you just ignore them, eventually they'll just gonna go away because they're not being paid attention to. So if people don't buy these goofy devices, then there's no incentive for China to go make more, because really China is not, they're building 150,000 of these because somebody put enough money up to go ahead and buy the materials for them to make 150,000 of them. They're not going to be like, oh, let's just crank out another 1,000 to put them back out in the market. And somebody is paying them to. Yeah,
and big factories like that, they don't just make that anyway. They make dozens of other things.
Making cargo pants right after that.
Just one thing that's ordered that they're mass producing.
I mean, that's why my little conspiracy hat went on, is exactly what Tim's saying. Somebody's ordering these, and whether or not they're selling them or not, it just sends the wrong message to the government and the FDA and everybody else that this is something that we want. And it may not be, obviously, with this group here and people in the chat, it's not what we want, but somebody had to say, I want 150,000 of these. How much is it going to cost me? Somebody had to say that to them. Are they ever going to use them? I don't know. But it just sends the wrong message out there that, hey, these guys want, and like Tim says, if that's out there, we all want it. To them, we all want it. It's like everybody's got it. We're all walking around with fucking teddy bear vapes. I got 3 right here. Different flavors. Of course, mango is one of my chosen.
That's what I'm saying, is the people who are asking for these to be made, much like the China factories, they don't give a shit about our fight. They don't care about that, because the guy that might lose his ass on 150,000 teddy bear vapes and the market goes away for him, he'll just be like, well, fuck that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'll go find the next boat to jump on and try to capitalize on.
I feel like no one in their right mind that's fighting this fight and has been fighting this fight for all this time is ordering those. They're not like.
Yeah. I have not seen names of the e-liquids that's going in there. Usually you'll see
there's like 36 flavors. And that's
they're plants, people. They're plants. They're government plants. Don't buy them.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't let the government see how stupid we are.
Hey, it could be them. Hey, I
don't know if anybody saw American Greed with Juul, but at the end, they panned away, and the shot had elf bars in it, and I was like, "Ooh, they're setting up the next narrative like that." that blew my mom. I'm like, what the hell does Elf Bar have to do with the Jewel episode?
I don't know. Martha, what up? Martha's in the chat, in the Chizzy chat.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, I don't know what this costs to make, but I'm sure it's not a lot of money, and it's worth shaking up the basket a little bit.
Bloomberg buck treat.
Bloomberg said,
how much is that?
Bloomberg
Never
said,
a dull moment in the vapor industry.
Yeah.
I guess that's how we have to look at this.
Bloomberg's sitting there. Let's get teddy bear vapes out there. We're not going to use them.
Vapes are our delay of game penalty.
Yeah, and Bloomberg's like, make sure this mango, because everybody just gets bent when mango's mentioned. You know what we should do someday is just I'm not getting in trouble for saying this, but fuck it, I don't care. Do a GoFundMe and raise enough money to buy a shitload of mangoes and just send them to Bloomberg to his home. Just a whole bunch of fucking mangoes, like truckloads of mangoes to the house.
I don't want to waste all that good food.
Oh, he'll put it to use. He'll give it to somebody in New York. Yeah. It'll be free mangoes. but not for adults. But not for adults.
Croony old man.
Yeah, everyone under 21 can have a mango for free.
Not a bad gig.
I wish I knew someone that had as much money as him that just wanted to just fuck with him, because that would just be a great person to know.
Yeah, I'd send him a mango basket, those fruit baskets, and it's just all mangoes, just sliced mangoes, chocolate covered.
Like funding our side of the fight.
Oh yeah. Send us money. Money.
Yeah, I don't want to just give our money away just to prove a point with some mangoes.
we need some lobbying.
Mango, the most hated flavor in vaping.
We should, if anything, we should flip the script, and then somehow give mangoes some semblance of actually having a real life, like a chicken, or something that if it's taken away from us, you're basically murdering the mango, and we'll just make it seem like the mangoes are screaming, And you can't take our mangoes from us. Save the mangoes.
Save the mangoes.
Ice cream is funding the obesity in kids right now, so we have to ban all ice cream flavors other than brown. It just tastes like brown. That's the only flavor.
I think we should just, fuck. Would they give us the same shit if our flavors were burnt toast or fried eggs and salmon or something nasty? They probably wouldn't care, but fuck, you throw mango in there.
No.
Fuck, you throw mango in there. Fucking mango salmon. Mango salmon vape.
Makes you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit.
I think I threw up in my mouth.
Yeah,
something about that seawater and sweetness mixed together. Just
we can't
so
have
perfect. It's just
and anyone
that pairs well with a red wine.
Yeah, it pairs good with some.
Come on now, fish is white wine.
You gotta have you got mango, salmon, and crepes. Or
All together.
Mango, salmon, and crepes. God.
I tasted crepes on the exhale.
I'm glad I didn't have an appetite before the show.
That's that mango salmon vape, babe.
Somehow I got to get mango, salmon, and crepes after the show. I wonder if Bonefish has something like that.
Oh, salmon eggs. Oh, those are even better. Those taste even better.
What about caviar?
If we had caviar vape, they would leave us alone. All these grown-up flavors, burnt coffee, day-old coffee, fucking, just nasty shit. They would leave us alone.
Day-old coffee, salmon, and endive.
Yeah, or just flavors like remember the butterscotch candies? Nobody likes butterscotch.
What are you talking about? I like butterscotch.
God. Oh look,
our age.
Martha said mango and salmon are okay. I think you have a taker on the
mango.
All right, well,
Martha,
you're gonna have to be the taste tester for all of us.
Oh God,
we'll be watching to see if you pass out.
My vape's got a fishy taste to it.
I knew it. I knew that vape was gonna knock her ass out.
These are Eastern salmon. You got all different types of salmon. Yeah. You can have Alaskan salmon
on it.
Yeah, lemon. Yeah. Oh, you got to have that. Yeah, the lemon on the aftertaste, just on the exhale.
Lemon in it.
I got a little lemon in there. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, look out. Martha wants a rematch. There you go, John. When's the next trivia night? Her and Allie are ready.
Oh hell yeah! No, we can do it here soon. I actually have 100 questions already done. So whenever
Two
you
of the
guys are-
categories are mango and salmon.
Mango, salmon. Fruit flavors you wish you had. Go. Mango. Yeah. Yeah, they got a flavor for everything. I mean, we got Paul. Paul can make anything, so we can just have Paul say, "Hey, Paul would fucking." I could see his face. We want one that tastes like salmon and mango and crepes.
He'll jump right out of his seat because he'll tell you he's already got the perfect salmon flavor.
You want Eastern
he's
salmon,
been working
Alaskan
on
salmon?
for like the last 6 months, and it was ready to put it out. So
Just
y'all
waiting for
just
that
hold
one
on,
person to ask for
hold on
it.
to your dungarees.
Yeah.
Paul's got a salmon mango coming out.
Future new flavor coming to a market near you.
Hold on to your didgeridoo next week.
And then of course they're going to come out with the salmon pod. It'll be shaped like a fish.
Yep.
60,000 puffs.
And if you throw it in a creek, it'll swim upstream.
It'll
Kids won't like that. They won't be interested in that at all.
Yeah, it'll have a built-in tag, so you'll never lose it. So yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Bears like them though. Bears love salmon.
Bears love, yeah. Don't use your salmon vape in the woods.
Yeah, don't go to Yosemite and just have your salmon mango vape hanging out. You might get mauled by a bear.
Oh my God! See, these are all good flavors. I like that one. I like the scrambled eggs and ketchup flavor. That would be booming.
That's my husband.
I don't get it either, Allie. I'm sorry. I watch my grandkids do that, and I don't understand why ketchup needs to go on scrambled eggs.
So bad. Why does it need to go on a $30 steak? Let's not even talk about that.
That's not so bad. I was always the ketchup with my grilled cheese, and everybody was like, ew. And I'm like, what's so disgusting about that? You're just dipping a grilled cheese in ketchup.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup. You dip
That's all you
cheese.
taste with ketchup, though. After you put ketchup
grilled cheese and tomato soup vape. Ooh. That'd be good.
What was the flavor?
Grilled cheese and tomato soup vape.
Oh no, I mean,
just like Mama used to make.
Yeah, from memory.
Just like Mom used to.
From memory, it seems like it might work. I don't know about vaping it.
Bring back those days when you were a kid. Yeah.
All those childhood smells.
Yeah, if I were to do that, then I'd have to go with my grandmother's liver and onions on Sunday.
Yeah.
The stinky in the whole house.
Give me a 2 mil pot of that stat.
Nobody's gonna stand around you when you're vaping that.
I want 200 milliliters of fucking liver and onions. I heard it's good.
I just want one called goulash.
Goulash.
Well, macaroni noodle and some
mac and cheese vape. I mean, it's the flavors are endless. That's the thing that I think that's the thing the FDA doesn't get. I mean, it's endless. Flavors are endless. We can come up with all kinds of. I mean, if you were to take the restrictions off as far as flavors, the possibilities are endless. What a DIY guy or whatever you call a mixologist could come up with. I mean, there's a flavor.
We literally took flavors and made a tobacco flavor with no tobacco, mind you, which tastes mildly like tobacco. But it's close enough. It's close enough to get you off cigarettes. But once your taste buds come back, you're like, no, done with this.
The booze vape, my vape tastes like Michelob Light.
Oh no, they have all kinds of alcohol vape.
Malibu, yep.
Yeah, they got the whole
pina colada.
5 Ponds was big for that. That was kind of like their angle.
Pina colada.
Pina colada. What's his name had the pina colada?
I don't have a taste or a flavor for that anyway, so it was never attractive for me. I was like, ugh, I don't want a bourbon vape. Yuck.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Like me, the last couple months, I mean, I've just been kind of drawing myself back to mints and menthols. I just can't seem to get away from them. I don't know what it is. It's just because I would always have one, just kind of to clean my palate. I would have a vape with the menthol in it just to hit, so I can just kind of start with my other stuff. But here lately, it's just been nothing but mint flavors and menthols and everything that I vape.
I wish I
taste change though, or like once every 7 years.
What's that?
Your taste change, like your taste buds change once every 7 years. So maybe that's what's happening.
You saying I'm getting old, Allie?
No, I'm just saying that happened before.
Yeah.
I could see a black pepper e-liquid not being too bad.
Black
I mean,
pepper.
it sounds like it'd be rough on your throat or something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, flavor-wise, I tend to overload on pepper on my food over salt and stuff. So
I love wines that have a lot of pepper in the background.
it's all about tasting notes, right? That's what you're really looking for. It's not like you're vaping it up
Wouldn't
your
it be
nose
awesome
and
just to be
sneeze
an
for a
adult
week.
to be able to choose what flavor you vape or
That would
eat?
be
God,
amazing.
that'd be fucking awesome. I don't know.
What a great concept! We should
Right?
do that one.
Fuck. I mean, I get to go. I mean, raise your hand. Who still buys fucking candy?
Duh.
Tim.
I mean,
don't fucking lie.
I mean,
Don't
I
lie.
will. I just don't typically, not because I don't like it. I'm
You
more.
buy cakes? Do you buy ice cream? Do you buy...
That stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't buy any candy. You don't buy a candy
No,
bar.
because I can just go over to my friend's house and she always has a massive bowl full of it, and it's like I just.
Well, you're still
eat
eating
till
it
I'm
then.
blue
Yeah.
in the face. Of course, I love candy. I just don't have a reason to need to buy it at all very often. So.
Yeah. I mean, my cabinet, well, because of the grandkids, but my cabinet's always got fucking candy in it. I got little Mounds bars, Snicker bars. I got candy in there all the time. I mean,
It
just
wouldn't
because
last around me. I just eat the shit.
the only way I would stop eating it if the doctor says you're gonna fucking die, John, you're diabetes. So that would be the only way I would stop eating fucking candy. So I just find
Yeah.
I find it
when
hard
it's
to
around,
believe.
I can't stop eating it. So it's just better for me not to buy it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing I don't get with them using that as their battle cry, about
Because
flavors.
that's an easy one.
I know, but as an adult that doesn't smoke and doesn't vape or doesn't do any of that stuff, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to give up my flavors for something I enjoy? Instead of saying, oh yeah, it's for the kids. But think about that. I mean, think about it for a second. Are you willing to give away that beautiful caramel macchiato? Are you willing to give up that?
Well, they're not all even candy flavors. Are you willing to give up strawberries? Like what? Like, so adults can't have strawberries anymore, or apples? Like,
can you imagine going to the ice cream parlor and only having chocolate and vanilla to choose from? God damn it, that would just piss me off. Where's my mint chip? Where's my mint chip, bitch?
Choice, I was gonna say.
Can you imagine have to ID? If you're over 21, you're not supposed to have flavors. You go into Baskins and Robbins and no, you're over 21. You can only have chocolate and vanilla.
Right. Well,
we got 21 flavors and you can't have it.
I mean, the government's thinking process is very one-dimensional in with regard to flavors. They don't seem to connect the dots when we say, well, but flavors being part of the journey is what helps to lead to the success of it, because you have all these options. It means that somebody's going to probably most likely be able to finally find something that works for them. Not everybody's going to like chocolate.
Right.
Not everybody's going to like strawberry from that particular manufacturer. I mean, there's variations of strawberry, but they just see it as it's a flavor attached to something that we've deemed as being harmful and detrimental and not good for kids and the general public and all that other stuff. So flavor is a flavor is a flavor is a flavor to them. They don't understand.
Flavor is a gift. When we finally get there, we're at that point. It's like it opens up a whole new world of trying things and tasting things differently. Like it was a gift to be able to not want tobacco flavor finally. Like it took a while. Like I started on an RY4 and went to a pina colada, but it took me some time, and sometimes I just had 2 tanks, and I'd have one with the sweet flavor and one with the tobacco flavor, just depending on my mood. But when you get there, it's a gift. Like when you're sometimes I vape tobacco flavors. There are some good ones out there, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, I remember when I began, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and if everyone that's been vaping long enough knows that feeling, after a few months, it's like, oh my God, I can taste fucking shit. I don't have to put 3 tons of fucking salt on my fucking eggs. I don't have to. I mean, your taste buds start to come back. And let's be honest, when your taste buds come back, now you want to fucking try other things. What have I been missing because I have been smoking all this time? Oh, this is what mango tastes like, Oh my God, this is what watermelon.
That's why they only have 6 tobacco flavors on that vape shop menu.
Exactly.
And there's so many other choices there because it's an on-ramp to vaping from smoking, but it's not the end. There's like so many exits on the road, you know, like you can go whichever way you want after that, and it becomes fun, and it does taste good.
Yeah. Yep. And I get it. I mean, you know, even when we all kind of started, that was the kind of the go-to flavor to start with was tobacco. It's like, oh, you need to start with this. Everyone was pushing you to start with a tobacco, you know, 18.
That's all. 20. That's the only choices I had, really.
Yeah.
It does help you. I think personally, I've helped a lot of people quit smoking, but it does kind of help in the beginning when you really are craving your cigarette. But I'd never deter someone. I would always suggest get an extra tank if you want to try an extra flavor, and you can alternate because that's what worked for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say the only things I had, because when I went with, well, maybe Blue had some flavors, but I think V2 was mostly tobacco.
Blue had cherry.
Yeah, vanilla maybe.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Tobacco.
They had a few, they had a few.
And a mint, right? And a mint, some sort of mint. I think were the. But man,
I have to go back in my.
Those fuckers didn't last long. I would hit that thing. It's already gone. Damn, unscrew that thing. Or the battery was gone, Dad. Put it in my little case. Recharge it.
Let me see.
I mean, they were smart. I mean, Blue was smart. I mean, they understood the visual thing and how important it was for the smoker, and they just catered that whole product around us, the smoker. You know, the fake little box, the charging unit,
light up
everything was just covered. They covered all their bases, and then you know, like I said, that was the product that was just praised by everyone in the beginning. Finally, something's for these smokers, something. And then here we are today. We're spending thousands and thousands of dollars just to stay alive, these companies. And it's kind of a sad thing.
Yeah.
Tim, do you got some news for us today?
Yeah,
I
wanted to.
Is it happy news?
Well, it's advocacy news. I mean, there's tons of articles out there, but this one was kind of sitting in my Rolodex. And I thought it's worthy to talk about because there's a lot of legislation going on, and I think one thing that we don't get is typically updates on where certain things are. So I thought maybe we could.
Well, for our younger audience, can you tell them what a Rolodex is so they know? Use that word.
Well, if any of you are familiar with the Dewey Decimal System,
now you're really fucking throwing
in the library and how that whole thing worked, and then you know how you could sit there and look at microfiche tape, you know, and you could get all those really cool articles from
the little slider, Tim.
You know, a Rolodex, and you still see like icons with the picture of it on it. But it was this thing that was basically contact information cards, and it was like on this, like a bingo spindle, you know, and the cards would flip over.
He's using all these old words and just making it
like a
worse.
roll that held index cards in place.
And next week, kids, I'm pulling out a touch-tone phone.
Oh, dude, no.
Rotary.
Rotary. Oh, fuck, I got to start over. You hang up. You got to start all back.
That was the worst when you dialed
I
the
got
wrong
to
number.
all the way. Shit.
And you're slamming that friggin' hook switch down. So mad. So mad. And everybody, when you would call them, they only could have one line. So when the fuckers were on the phone, it was busy. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me share.
All right, share.
I got to present. Hold on.
Present now. They took the share word out of there. It's present now. They made it so official now. It's classy.
It does sound fancy.
All right. So I thought this was a good one to talk about. They don't affect everybody immediately. You may not live in these states, but should you fall into any one of these 20 buckets? This was posted as early as February 6th. So we're, we're what, 16 days off of that. Yep. So, who knows what's changed since then, but let's talk about it. Hold on. Let's make it a little bit bigger so people can see.
That's what she said.
The gavel is falling. All right. So let's start. I guess I don't know if they went in alphabetical order here, but let's start with Arizona. So Arizona has a Senate Bill 1678, which requires tobacco and e-cigarette retailers to obtain a license from the State Department of Health Services, sets penalties and permits local jurisdictions to further regulate tobacco products. So that's out there. So if that I mean, I thought that most vape distributors had to obtain a
Yeah.
license now anyways. I thought this was pretty standard fare.
Not all of them.
No?
Not all states.
Not all of them. So basically they're just getting these vape shops to have to pay into the government. This is how your government gets some of your
you
money.
have to
right?
have a business license. This is an additional license. Yeah.
This is an additional license.
Yeah.
But in the same regard, I would say I don't see a whole lot of bad news in this particular type of regulation, because this seems like the easiest way to get some money out of people is to just make them pay for a license annually. I don't know how exorbitantly costed this whole thing is, but in the same breath, I feel like one of the things that is not necessarily done is holding the distributor or the person who sells these things accountable. So if they make the mistake and they're knowingly putting these things into the hands of kids or underage people because they just don't give an F, if they have to pay some penalties, which are, escalating based on the number of violations that are committed, I certainly think this is a good place to start, because the right people, the good people of this world who run vape shops are not going to sell to kids. That they're not going to allow themselves to fall into this trap. But the people who kind of muddy the waters for us, the ones that will sell teddy bear vapes, these are these people should be fined accordingly if that's exactly what we're doing. Hold people accountable for their actions. Then in Hawaii, House Bill 1423 establishes a tax on vapor products of 10% of the wholesale price. So this is their new angle when they were trying to pass basically a vape ban in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Prior to that.
Yep.
So again, but it's 10%, right? So
10% of wholesale price. Yeah,
it's not that crazy. Again, are these things that vapors in general are willing to put up with to keep the industry around? Are you okay with paying a 10% wholesale tax on your e-liquid and your devices just so you can have it? Is it dumb? Yeah.
Yeah, then the more hard it is for them to want to get rid of you, though.
True.
If you're bringing in more money.
Exactly. And you're potentially causing that harm reduction method to be as equal to or cost more than the deadly alternative. And that sometimes is I wouldn't say sometimes, that's a major issue, right? Because the harm reduction shouldn't cost more than the deadly partner. So there's that. So if you want to, anyway, I don't know if we have any Hawaii people on the show, but if you live in Hawaii, you don't want to see your 10% tax, tell the government how you feel. Maryland, Senate Bill 259 prohibits the sale of flavored tobacco products, cigarettes, cigars, pipe tobacco, chewing tobacco, snuffs, and any other tobacco product. And, of course, the dreaded flavored electronic smoking devices.
Yeah.
Prohibited flavors include menthol, mint, and wintergreen. So you're not even going to be able to get that.
No mango
in Maryland.
for Maryland. No mango
This
for
is
Maryland.
a state Senate bill. So this means statewide. This isn't county regulated. So, pay attention to that one if you're from the great state of Maryland.
Call your local representatives. Start talking.
Yes.
Go to CASA. You can find all that information. If you don't know who it is, go to CASA and go put your state in, and it'll show you who your representatives are.
And go to Lindsay's website. What is it? THR 101. Because she's got all the stats that the people that represent you care about, which is how much money does vaping bring into the state and how many small businesses are they going to kill if they do that.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So if New York couldn't take it on the nose any more than they already have,
people.
let's see. I got more legislation out there for New York.
They got a paragraph.
Yeah. I'm going to read it fast. Don't worry. Everybody,
go ahead.
Everybody catch up. All right. Senate Bill 3063 prohibits the sale of cigarettes with single-use filters and single-use electronic cigarettes, i.e. disposables.
That are already banned.
Right. Yeah. Senate Bill 3356 requires a liquid nicotine and electronic cigarettes to be sold in age 21 restricted locations. Duh. That
all
should be like that.
All four of them that are approved.
Yeah. Senate Bill 3448, same as, everybody, it's a mirror copy of A2172. Just keep that one in your trivia pocket for your next party. amends certain definitions relating to tobacco products, changes the minimum pack sizes for certain tobacco products, and the minimum. Wait, hold on a minute.
Time out.
I thought we pretty much had 20s and that was it. Pack sizes. What is that supposed to mean? I think you can only get 40s in Europe. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, and the minimum tax on certain products. Increase the tax on tobacco products to 95% of wholesale. 95%.
Wow.
That's nuts.
They're already, what, like 18, 19 in New York for a pack? 20?
You already can't sell anything in New York unless it's got an MGO. So there's literally what the FDA says 23 products, but they're all the same thing. So it's, how do you run an electronic cigarette shop?
Yeah. You do in the alley in the back of your car.
Yeah.
Loaded up with teddy bear disposables.
Yeah. Or a trench coat full of mango. I got mango, baby. Got mango.
So for moist snuff, the higher of 95% or $3.63 per ounce. Single unit tobacco products, the higher of 95% or the rate imposed on cigarettes. Loose tobacco for smoking per 0.65 ounces. I don't know how they came up with that number. The higher of 95% on the amount of a pack of 20 cigarettes. Cigars 5-pack, the higher of 95% on the amount of a pack of 20 cigarettes, with a proportionate tax on packages with fewer than 5 cigars.
Wait, question. So they're taxing single use.
Yeah,
but they're not banning it in the same bill.
Yeah.
So how are you taxing something that you're banning?
Yeah, and you notice they made sure they said a pack of 5 cigars, so they're not talking about your high-end cigars whatsoever.
Cigarellos and
they're talking about they're not talking about the Don Julios that you buy at the at the cigar place for $20. They're talking about that the cigarellos. I noticed
cigarello.
Yeah, they're keeping the cigars going. That's how they're doing it.
Well, cigars have notoriously been sort of like hands.
They're protected. They're protected.
Yeah, they're kind of protected.
I'm telling you, we need to start a vape religion.
Look,
we need
there's a
the
guy.
fucking.
Even the ad is a dude smoking a cigar.
He's smoking a fucking cigar. Tobacco business.
Subliminal message.
That one right
aficionado.
there. That one right there on the top.
Yeah. Done. You can't get that shit anyway because it's not approved. So
Right. All right. Good old Tennessee. House Bill 1438 increased the cigarette tax from 3 cents to $8.35. Good.
Yeah. Okay. So you're taxing only cigarettes.
No. So it goes from 3 cents to 8.35 cents. So it's an increase of 5.35 cents. I'm good at math per cigarette, and increase the OTP tax from 6.6% to 17% of wholesale.
So
that's a fairly large increase.
Yeah, it is, which will eventually come back to the consumer.
Yeah, and I kind of sort of feel like at some point it's a war of attrition. I think that some people are just like, what can I really do? I can't stop the ball rolling.
Maybe it'll be more of an incentive to go get it.
Yeah. And most people will just probably pay it. So, West Virginia. Senate Bill 266 contains language for the state to preempt the field of language.
I hope so.
For the state to preempt the field of legislation concerning the regulation of tobacco products, tobacco-derived products, i.e., what they like to vapes and alternative nicotine products, so like pouches and shit like that.
We've just become an IE. Any statement is just IE vapes.
Contains language for
it's a preemption bill, so it's not. It's not a bad thing though, because preemption is what they're trying to do in South Carolina, where you can't make a county-wide ban or a city-wide ban. It has to be a state level, and that means that it's going to have to be signed off on by people that won't sign off on it.
Yeah, that's what Nick's going through right now in Florida, right? I think that's what he said they're going through. They're trying to get passed.
Yeah.
All right.
To avoid that happening from county to county.
Yeah, well, I think they've done that in several states where they've kind of elevated that to the point where it has to be a state enacted law, and it can't be passed down to the municipalities and counties. They can't act on their own.
Right.
So these ones seem to differ a little bit. So the following state tobacco-related legislative bills have been acted on by a state legislative committee or state legislature. These are listed below alphabetically by state. Connecticut.
Connecticut. Aren't they just shut down completely? I thought Connecticut was like nothing. You can't get nothing there.
Well, according to this, you won't be able to get anything.
I thought that was already a thing there.
Well, it says House Bill.
Or is that Massachusetts? I'm thinking.
Yeah. Where's Retchen from?
I don't know.
Retchen Whitmer, isn't she Massachusetts? I don't think she's Connecticut.
Yeah.
House Bill 6488, which prohibits the sale of flavored cigarettes, tobacco products, electronic nicotine delivery systems, and vapor products, was heard in the Joint Committee on Public Health on February 1st. Just call me Mike Tyson.
Is it February? No, I'm not going to
February. So in Connecticut, on February 1st, the Joint Committee heard the House bill proposal. So you'd have to follow that one to see where it's at right now. I mean, who knows? Yeah. They like to take their votes in the middle of the night when nobody's paying attention. Yeah. So you'll be, in REM sleep while they're train wrecking your life.
And they'll tell you, the doors were open. We did have our meeting at 1 a.m.
The public is allowed. You guys could have come. We posted it. We posted it behind 3 trees on the side of the road. How come you didn't listen?
We had sandwiches.
Yeah, it was right next to that yard sale sign. You didn't see it?
The small print.
Stupid vapors. All right.
All right.
To page 2. Light up your sales. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's have a quippy little marketing line.
Bic.
Sales up, light them up.
Bic.
We don't like those things. Oh, that's a Bic lighter. Never mind. I get to do
that. That's fine.
A Bic lighter.
It wants to be.
Even the Bic lighters are getting all fancy in colors now. You see those?
Yeah, you know what? Kids would like those vapors. I mean, those lighters. I don't know why.
Every kid should have a lighter in his pocket.
Look at this thing. Good Lord, it's got a freak. It's like a mini candle one, like you get from the store. It's like a mini version.
Yeah, that's for
good for that cigar that guy had.
Yeah, good gravy.
They even got the ones
your number one lighter brand.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know that.
They even got the ones with the windshield on it. You push it up, you slide it up. It has that little windshield. So
I just want one of those really cool ones. Has like the X electronic flame that changes colors and stuff. I just want one. I won't need it for anything.
I don't gotta burn anything. I just want one.
Just want one.
Yeah. Light some candles.
Next thing you know, they'll be banning lighters. God.
Candles are next. Flavored candles are next, people. Flavored candles are next.
The teddy bear lighters. Good God. What is this world coming to? All right. Indiana, Senate Bill 264, which changes the cigarette tax stamp discount to 5 cents. Currently 13 cents. Wow, you guys are getting a decrease.
You're getting a discount.
Wait, should we vote for this one? Yeah. Senate Bill 264, which changes the cigarette tax stamp discount to 5 cents. Currently 13, passed from the Senate Public Policy Committee. That's a mouthful. And referred to the Senate Appropriations Committee. Good Lord, all these committees. On February 2nd, 2023. So they're lowering the tax.
Yeah, and then getting you on the back end here.
On the back end.
Okay, hold on. I keep reading is what Allison's trying to say. House Bill 1214, which amends the definition of tobacco product to include a product containing nicotine. So then friggin' ban eggplants and tomatoes.
Discounts on your cigarettes, but
we're gonna go if you're gonna go there.
Candle burning is dangerous.
Requires a distributor to purchase and distribute e-liquid from an Indiana e-liquid manufacturer or Indiana e-liquid distributor passed the House on January 30th, 2023. So they're going to amend the definition of a tobacco product to be anything that includes nicotine in any way, shape, or form, which, okay,
just
fine.
Like the FDA.
Yep. And requires a distributor to purchase and so they can only purchase and distribute from within the state. They can't get it from
outside. Yeah.
Right. So then the FDA won't let people just put any of their own house blends on the market because those aren't PMTA'd.
Right.
Yeah. So and how many distributors are based out of
how many Indiana vape distributors are there? Like e-liquid companies that have PMTAs.
There's quite a few there.
Are there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, at least you can get it, right? All right. We're back to Maryland. Good Lord, they're getting killed. Senate Bill 259, which prohibits the sale of flavored tobacco products and electronic smoking devices, including menthol mint and wintergreen, will be heard in the Senate Finance Committee on February 16th. All right. There's one to stand up for, Maryland.
Yeah.
It already passed.
As long as
Did it
mango's not
pass
included.
already?
Long as
February
mango-
16th, they heard it and they already passed it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was passed, but they've already listened to it, so it's probably too. I mean, you can.
No
If they already-
open public commentary period is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can even if they've already discussed it.
It's true. We could. I mean, this is a little antiquated, so we might be able to find something out on CASA's website. Maybe they've got an update.
Still call. Yeah, still call.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never too late to talk to somebody. Get in, go see them in
Yeah.
person.
All right. So Maryland,
Maryland.
stand up. New Mexico,
Medical.
House Bill 94. They're getting a smaller number. They don't have as many House bills as everybody else. 94, it's real low on number.
They
prohibits-
reset. Like at the
But it's
deli.
also another flavor ban, which prohibits the sale of flavored tobacco products past the House Health and Human Services Committee on January 30th. HB 94, which will be considered in the House Commerce and Economic Development Committee on February 6th. So wait a minute. Okay. So the House bill was passed there at the House Health and Human Services Committee, and now it's moving up into the House Commerce and Economic Development Committee. So maybe there's a way to stand in front of this one a little bit. I got this funny feeling a lot of people don't even know about half the shit that's going on. They have no clue that there's some House bill flying around.
Nope.
Probably not.
So wait, how come this one ran off the tracks? These are nondescript, or are these all still New Mexico?
Yep.
Because has
Holy
nothing on
Moses, man. House Bill 123, which increases the tax on cigarettes by $2 per pack. So if you're a smoker, from $2 to $4 per pack. So it's already $2 a pack. It's going up to $4 a pack. All the more reason to vape, right? And increase the tax on tobacco products by 46% of the wholesale price. Good God, 46%. Up from 25% to 71% of the wholesale price. So that's the increase. So they're already at 25%. They want to increase it an additional 46% to 71%, folks. Passed the House Health and Human Services Committee on January 30th. And same bill will be considered in the House Taxation and Revenue Committee. So you got bills going up through one group and then getting friggin' splayed out to a bunch of different groups. So how do you keep your eye on that when you got different committees and different bodies voting on these bills? I mean, and it doesn't stop. There's two more.
Yeah.
There's two more. I might forget how to speak the English language by the time I'm done. House Bill 124, which increases the excise tax on tobacco products to 31% of the wholesale price, amends existing law to repeal the separate taxes imposed on vapor products and e-liquid for the purpose of imposing the proposed 31% of the wholesale price OTP rate on vapor products. So they want to just tax everything the same. So I guess vaping was being taxed differently. Now they're saying we want it to be taxed exactly the same. And repeals the excise tax cap for cigars of 50 cents per cigar. Passed the House Health and Human Services Committee on January. So they're going after cigars here a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, no, it's saying it repeals it, though, right?
It repeals the excise tax cap. So that means if they repeal the cap, they can go higher.
Yeah, they go higher.
Okay.
Yep. So they're saying somebody shut the door on us on that one, and we see another place where we can kind of
make money.
Yeah, get some money from. So take that cap off and let's bump it to 71%.
Well, they can just group it with the other one.
Exactly.
$4 extra, whatever.
All right, and lastly but not leastly, New Mexico, Senate Bill 179, which permits localities and counties to enact ordinances and regulations related to tobacco products, will be considered in the Senate Health and Public Affairs Committee. So that means they'll go down to the local municipality, town, community, county, city, whatever. So now they're going to give them autonomy to regulate and can't vape within 100 feet of your office building or whatever. Can't be in a park, whatever. So yeah, New Mexico, the cards are stacked, man.
Man, that's really rough.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that first one's a tough one.
Oh, absolutely. These are always the hardest ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
you're
the one
talking
you need.
about a flavor ban altogether.
Yep.
All right, North Dakota, House Bill 1412. Which
people live there?
Well, apparently
right.
enough to write a House Bill 1412, which requires a license to sell electronic smoking devices reported as what? Do pass go, do collect 200. Wait a minute. This is some fancy new government language. Hold on. House Bill 1412, which requires a license to sell electronic smoking devices reported as do pass.
What the fuck is do pass?
How many vapors do we know walk around going, how's your do pass today? What's that do pass you're vaping on right there?
3 people. See, Mallory's with me. Mallory says there's 3 people that live in North Dakota.
To sell electronic smoking devices.
I don't get that.
Reported as do pass.
Do pass. I heard of puff pass, but I don't hear.
Do pass the vape. Don't say that.
Okay, anybody know anything more about this do pass thing? Educate us.
I mean, there's only 3 people in North Dakota, so somebody's got to get some information.
Somebody call one of them, please.
Call.
Do you think this term applies to the bill and not the thing? It just sounds like it's intended to meaning it's a House bill, like it's a do pass House bill. I don't think they're talking about
it's a subliminal message, so make sure that they read that do pass, so they're going to think when they go and vote.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I feel like this is one of those bills where they're like they're gonna pass it.
Yeah, it's going through no matter what you say.
There's a lot of support.
No, it was already reported that way, so it's done. It's just they did the do pass.
It doesn't matter.
And now we're back to Virginia again. Everything pulls full circle again. House Bill 2296, same as SB 1350, which was substituted to direct the Secretary of Finance to assess a licensing scheme for liquid nicotine, reported from the House Finance Committee on February 1st. February 1st. Senate Bill 1350, which was substituted to direct the Secretary of Finance to assess a licensing scheme. All right, so they want people in Virginia to have a license to sell it. I'm not opposed to that, though. I'm not necessarily. I don't find that problematic. Do I think that they should have to go through that? No, but I mean, if this is one thing that I could tolerate,
do pass means do pass or pass the bill as is. So that's a bill that they don't want to. Yeah.
No, so no amendments.
No amendment. This goes the way it's written. It's got to go through that way, or it gets thrown out.
All right. So there you go. Those are your 20 tobaccos. That's an update on 20 tobaccos, and I guarantee you, there's probably more. What I mean is, there's more information. Well, there's more information than what we're seeing here because we don't know the status of all these now at this point. Yeah. So. If you probably want
to all the time,
I'm sure you can probably grab these bill numbers and dump them in on your state government website, and you can probably find out where in the process it is and how far it's moved along. They usually give you a progress report. So, if you feel the need to pick up the phone and fight some of this stuff, I mean, we laid it out. So,
if you vape, advocate, please.
If you vape, advocate. Well.
And if you're a cigar smoker, don't worry.
And I feel fortunate that Atlanta's of anything. So, unless you live in New Mexico,
smoke them if you got them. That's the next bill.
so that one was sitting in my pile of articles from a couple weeks ago, just because we had some. Well, I wasn't here last week, but the week before that we had guests 2 weeks prior to that. So just never got around to it. Never had the time.
Tim.
Any other good ones out there? Allison, you post some good ones all day long.
Hell yeah, there's some good ones. Might as well end on a good note. We got
let's do that.
Yeah, Tim's doesn't do us any good.
From the Michigan News newsletter, they have a new post out, and it's researchers rethink e-cigarettes' role in treating cigarette smokers' nicotine addiction. So should electronic cigarettes or vapes be accepted more widely as an effective and respected tool for treating adult smokers with nicotine addiction? I don't agree with addiction, but it's okay. So Kenneth Warner, Dean, whatever all these words are, because I'm not going to go through all of his his status there, but he is from the University of Michigan School of Public Health. He says there's enough evidence to support e-cigarettes use as a first-line aid for smoking cessation in adults. Far too many adults want to quit smoking and are unable to do so. E-cigarettes constitute the first new tool to help them in decades. Yet relatively few smokers and indeed healthcare professionals appreciate their potential value. It's pretty awesome. In a study published in Nature Medicine, Warner and colleagues took a global view of vaping, examining countries that promote vaping as a smoking cessation and ones that don't. While agencies in the US and Canada acknowledge the potential benefit of e-cigarette use, they deem the evidence to recommend e-cigarettes for smoking cessation as insufficient, according to authors. And it's an awesome article. I'm sure a lot of you have read it. The study is actually linked here. No, we don't have a lot of time left. John, do you have the link for this?
Is it in chat?
I did put it in the chat, yeah.
Okay, I will find it.
Well, yeah, it's right. I can see it now in the standard chat.
That's the link to Allie's.
Oh, the AVM thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
AVM.
I got you.
I just put it in our private chat so you can share
Okay,
it.
I got
I
you.
see the red dot.
Yeah. So, but in the past, he has actually done some other stuff. At the bottom there, you can see a video message from him about making a case for vaping to stop smoking. It's called Vaping, a More Balanced Message. I think it's really important to check that out.
That was me. Sorry.
I was tripping out. I thought I was double taking there.
No. I thought Allison was sharing her screen and it was backstage, so I was trying to put it on thing, and I'm like, no, that's still me.
Yeah.
So I took it down.
Yes, but I mean, I think in conclusion here, he said that the acceptance of the promotion of e-cigarettes as a tool for smoking cessation will likely depend on continuing efforts to reduce access to the use of the products by young people who have never smoked. These two objectives can and should coexist, and I could not agree with that more.
Yes.
I like it. I put that link in the chat, guys, if you want to go and read that article.
Yeah, I'm sure most of you guys that are in the chat
and share that. We need to share good stuff.
Kind of information very often. I think it's a really, really great article.
Yeah, well, and I think that there's, for what it's worth, coming from a university and stuff like that, typically people will kind of lend some credence to information like that, when it's
based
coming
on
from
a study. Yeah, I mean,
and especially from Michigan with all they're pretty much them New York, and was it Massachusetts? That kind of started it all, the nonsense.
Well, that's
Massachusetts was one of the first that tried to do the state ban, right? Ban.
That was Retchen, yeah.
Yeah, and then New York said, "No way, you're not going before us." And
nobody takes away stuff.
Yeah, nobody. No, we're first. We're fucking New York, man. We're doing this first.
Dare I say, government officials are hardhead, deep-pocketed assholes most of the time. But I think the tide could sway a little bit more if we got more articles like that, more studies like that. The more that starts to override the negative bullshit paid-for studies that are basically just peddling propaganda, if things like that start to outweigh it from a publication's perspective, you might
credible source.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're going to believe medical, quote unquote, people in the medical field or medical pipeline saying, oh, it's bad, it's worse than smoking, and they if they buy into that science, counter science can actually work to our advantage. So it'd be like, wait a minute, all these people from all these big universities are publishing articles saying that it would be a great cessation tool for smoking. Like, wait a minute, why this 180 all of a sudden?
Yeah,
probably see more people lean into that corner of science and go, maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought it was all along.
Oh, it wasn't.
It's coming from the U.S. too, which is even better because we're not allowed to use the stuff from Royal College of Physicians. So at least this is on our, over
Yeah,
here. On
good point, Allie. Good point. That's true. Yeah, because we always
when
get
does it
shut
come
down.
to a point where there's not enough science?
Yeah, every time we bring up that study, oh well, that's over there. That's not us. Yeah,
We have
they're
different
well,
science.
they were the ones that warned us about cigarettes, and we didn't fucking listen to them before. I think maybe we should listen to them now. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I mean, I kind of lost my train of thought on that one, but
No way. That just a second like that.
yeah, just it's like gone in the. I'm like ADHD brain half the time, dude. I got like 8 million things floating around up there. That's probably why it takes me so long to get to the end of a sentence, because I got 20, 25 friggin' ideas floating around up there.
Oh, well, that was good. Great show, guys.
Yeah. It's
always 5 minutes to bullshit.
Yeah, we can bullshit our way into the
outro.
Well, hold on. Are there any good? Well, hold on. Shaylock has been bringing up some really killer points the whole entire show. So sometimes the screw over the greater good for personal profit. No one ever seems to ask how politicians become multimillionaires on a humble public service salary, which is true.
Yep.
They always talk about, equity and equality and all these other basic premises where we need to give in order to suffice the rest. Yet they're the ones over there hoarding everything with 14 houses and big mansions and stuff. But yeah, they all seem to find a way into the top 1%, don't they?
Yeah,
you think Bloomberg's money for tobacco control isn't just control more people so they can spread his message?
Yeah, and then every couple of years, they got to throw in that we need a raise. We need a raise. I want to get, just for shits and giggles, guys. Every now and then, just go do a Google search on the pension of a senator, and you will be fucking shocked. Fuck being a president. Fuck that shit.
Why they don't want term limits, and they don't want all that other stuff. I mean, they want to sit in that seat so they can continue to rake in the cash and fight for false premises. But anyway, I it'll always be corrupt in that regard. But what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You got to stay and fight. You got to stay and fight,
or at least go out there and try to take one of those seats. Get somebody that you get in there. Everybody knows somebody that is a public figure in their community or town. Get them in there. Hey,
well, I think we need to get rid of some of the old kind of stuffy dead wood that kind of hangs around for a long period of time. I still am kind of a firm believer that maybe at a point where we've seen a lot come and go, but I think as the government gets younger, I think things will change mentally. I think we just have a lot of stuffy people who kind of are still in that Gen Z, Gen X, Boomer area, and I just think the mental tide will turn the younger the government gets over time.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about changing our fucking constitution. We're just talking about letting us fucking vape.
Right.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like, it just drives me nuts to think that these senators have like, pages and what do they call when you work for free? When you get a job out of when you get out of college and you get a job and you work
internship,
and they like these interns that work for them, and I bet you like a bucket load of them vape.
Yeah.
And so they got to stand up for this anti-fight and say how bad it is, and half their staff's outside friggin' vaping on their break or whatever, or has their vape laying on their desk, and he sees it or she sees it every day they walk in the office, and they know exactly what it is.
They go, that's a USB drive.
Well, I wonder how many of the FBA people that denied our applications were vaping at the same time as they were.
More than likely.
Yeah, I got to go outside.
Or hanging out of them. Can't smoke in the office, but I got I can stealth vape back here in the back.
Or even make it worse, they were like, "Oh, it's a smoke break. Go outside and have a fucking cigarette, and come back in there and
hey, are you guys going for a vape? Wait for me.
Hold up. We got to go in that special room now. We can't have anybody see us vaping."
Yeah. No, it's just I want to say at some point down the road, a younger government will be a little bit more open-minded.
Yeah, I think so. I think once you start, especially, you're looking at that next generation that's coming in, not even the Gen X, because most of us are already in I think the oldest Gen X would be 57, 58 at the latter end of it, right? I think 1965 to 1980. So when you start,
I was born in 80 and I'm 42.
yeah. So, you got that one generation that's going to be stepping in. And I think like my kids, they have a better sense of they would be millennials, right? My kids are millennials.
I don't know. After you get out of the letters, I don't know where it goes from there.
Yeah. I think I think millennials are Gen Z, right? Or
No.
Gen Y, A, B, I don't know what the fuck it is, but yeah, I think that generation is about to step into politics themselves because you figure those guys are in their late 30s or mid 30s. So they, they start to develop, and they are a little bit more easy. Like my son says, "Hey, does that work for you, Dad?" Like my oldest son's he could be an ass, and he said, "Does it work for you?" And I say, "Yeah, it works for me." He goes, "Okay, that's all I needed to know. If it works for you and you haven't smoked a cigarette, then that's all I need to know." Yeah. So hopefully, eventually, someday, we get some of these people in there and get rid of these guys that are on how many fucking terms.
Yeah, but but isn't that the way of the world, though? It's like, you kind of have to have some pioneers to initially kind of fight the big fight so that you can see the success on the other side. Because really, if we think about why we do this, it's for ourselves as well, but it's to fight for everybody else and speak up for everybody else. So if we can see it make it to the other side for the younger generation, well, then I'll feel like, a massive war has been won because they get to benefit from that.
And no jokes for millennials. I like millennials. My kids are good, sharp kids, and I think a lot of their friends. I look around; they're doing. I think they're a hardworking generation. Millennials they're about working and taking care and paying their bills, and I'm fine with that. See, it's the next generation that I'm worried about.
Yeah, but you know what? I at the same time, I want to say that and you want it to be like this big booming thing. The kids of that same era, 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road, they'll be into something totally different. Right. That's probably 18,000 times worse for them than what everybody kind of proposed was the worst thing they could get their hands on. So, that stuff goes in cycles too. So we'll wait to see what that fucking.
I am hoping and praying that I'm alive for that too.
Well, I don't think we're going anytime soon. So I feel pretty good about
50's the new 30, baby. No.
I don't, dude. I live my life every day like I'm friggin' 28.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're only as old as you feel.
Exactly. I don't want to. I don't want to be some old crusty fart telling people to get off my lawn.
Yep. Yeah, you do. You're like, fuck out.
Okay, get off my lawn.
See how green my fucking grass is? Get off there.
Yeah, but you can come in for a vape just get off
vape. I got a vape section on my lawn right there.
I got all kinds of flavors here, so I'm sure you can find one that sticks with you.
All right, before we head out, again, everybody, share it. I should put the link in there. I want to see some names out there this Friday. Again, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the 24th. Get in there. Cheer Allie on, cheer Greg on, and
now get ready.
Yeah, and is I forgot to ask you, is there a chat format? Are you going to see chat coming in or no?
Potentially. I think the logistics are still kind of being worked out for that.
Okay, and if there is a chat, guys, be respectful.
Yeah, be respectful. Don't show up and start. I'm sure they'll have mods if that happens anyway. But
yeah. Be respectful. Don't be grown up. Yeah, don't be a dick. Is that what you said too?
Yeah, I said don't be a dick.
Yeah, be respectful.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yes.
But if you got a good point to make it heard.
Make it.
Yeah, make it. Yeah. Yeah, so don't forget to do that. And again, if you can't make it, if you're at work, there's a great way to submit a question for them to ask Mr. King. And why am I calling Mr. King for?
I'm sure Allie's thought about that, Mallory.
Yeah.
It's virtual, so I have my bet is on a hard question. Internet goes out.
Yeah. Bad connection.
Sorry, what?
Goddamn Wi-Fi at the FDA.
He was right there.
It'll be all.
He's frozen. Yeah. What did he say?
Be like Max Headroom and shit.
He probably has that button right next to him, when he needs it to skip. So he just like, okay, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, everybody in chat. We will see everybody next week. I don't know if we got going on next week. I think we have a guest. I'm not sure if Paul.
Somebody will be here.
I think Paul might have lined something up, but yeah. We'll see everybody next Wednesday. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Tim and Allie. Yeah. And peace and out. And let me find the right button.
Bring your mango salmon vape.
Yes. Fight for mango, people. Fight for mango. There's always one flavor that you're going to get pissed off about. That's gone. So fight for that one flavor. Everybody has it.
Our tagline is going to be Lego my mango.
Yeah, I mean, just keep that. It doesn't have to be mango. It could be whatever yours is. But everybody has that one flavor, or one company that if it's gone, you're gonna be fucking pissed. So fight for that. Tim, go ahead. You got something
Nothing.
to say?
I got.
Okay,
nothing.
good.
I got.
Good.
I'm out.
All right.
Night,
Pete,
y'all.
Good night, everybody.